If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency and vibration. I don't care that they stole my idea. I care that they don't have any of their own. Of all things, I liked books best. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. The scientists of today think deeply instead of clearly. One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. Be alone, that is the secret of invention. Be alone, that is when ideas are born. My brain is only a receiver. In the universe there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength and inspiration. I have not penetrated into the secrets of this core, but I know that it exists. The present is theirs, the future, for which I really worked, is mine. If your hate could be turned into electricity, it would light up the whole world. I do not think you can name many great inventions that have been made by married men. One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. Our virtues and our failings are inseparable, like force and matter. When they separate, man is no more. Let the future tell the truth, and evaluate each one according to his work and accomplishments. The present is theirs, the future, for which I have really worked, is mine. All that was great in the past was ridiculed, condemned, combated, suppressed, only to emerge all the more powerfully, all the more triumphantly from the struggle. Life is and will ever remain an equation incapable of solution, but it contains certain known factors. We crave for new sensations but soon become indifferent to them. The wonders of yesterday are today common occurrences. What one man calls God, another calls the laws of physics. Invention is the most important product of man's creative brain. The ultimate purpose is the complete mastery of mind over the material world, the harnessing of human nature to human needs. If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6 and 9, then you would have the key to the universe. Today's scientists have substituted mathematics for experiments, and they wander off through equation after equation, and eventually build a structure which has no. You may live to see man-made horrors beyond your comprehension. The gift of mental power comes from God, divine being. And if we concentrate our minds on that truth, we become in tune with this great power. My mother had taught me to seek all truth in the Bible. The individual is ephemeral, races and nations come and pass away, but man remains. It's not the love you make, it's the love you give. Marconi is a good fellow. Let him continue. He is using 17 of my patents. Most certainly, some planets are not inhabited, but others are, and among these there must exist life under all conditions and phases of development. Inventors don't have time for married life. So astounding are the facts in this connection, that it would seem as though the Creator himself had electrically designed this planet. Peace can only come as a natural consequence of universal enlightenment and merging of races, and we are still far from this blissful realization. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Great moments are born great opportunity. As I review the events of my past life, I realize how subtle are the influences that shape our destinies. The progressive development of man is vitally dependent on invention. It is the most important product of his creative brain. It is not in the shallow physical imitation of men that women will assert first their equality and later their superiority, but in the awakening of the intellect of women. We are all one. Only egos, beliefs, and fears separate us. When natural inclination develops into a passionate desire, one advances towards his goal in 7 league boots. When natural inclination develops into a passionate desire, one advances towards his goal in 7 league boots. One has to be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. A new idea must not be judged by its immediate results. Our virtues and our failings are inseparable, like force and matter. When they separate, man is no more. Our virtues and our failings are inseparable, like force and matter. One's salvation could only be brought about through his own efforts. When they separate, man is no more. Genius is its own passport, and has always been ready to change habitats until the natural one is found. If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6 and 9, then you would have a key to the universe. Deficient observation is merely a form of ignorance and responsible for the many morbid notions and foolish ideas prevailing. Science is but a perversion of itself unless it has as its ultimate goal the betterment of humanity. To know each other we must reach beyond the sphere of our sense perceptions. My belief is firm in a law of compensation. The true rewards are ever in proportion to the labor and sacrifices made. These are only new devices for putting the weak at the mercy of the strong. Peace can only come as a natural consequence of universal enlightenment and merging of races, and we are still far from this blissful realization. as the hard work of the future will be pushing buttons. My project was retarded by laws of nature. The world was not prepared for it. It was too far ahead of time. But the same laws will prevail in the end and make it a triumphal success. Instinct is something which transcends knowledge. I don't care that they stole my idea. I care that they don't have any of their own. I am unwilling to accord to some small-minded and jealous individuals the satisfaction of having thwarted my efforts. These men are to me nothing more than microbes of a nasty disease. There is scarcely a subject that cannot be mathematically treated and the effects calculated or the results determined beforehand from the available theoretical and practical data. The by far greater number of human beings are never aware of what is passing around and within them, and millions fall victims of disease and die prematurely just on this account. Misunderstandings are always caused by the inability of appreciating one another's point of view. This again is due to the ignorance of those concerned, not so much in their own, as in their mutual fields. Every living being is an engine geared to the wheelwork of the universe. I counted the steps in my walks and calculated the cubical contents of soup plates, coffee cups and pieces of food, otherwise my meal was unenjoyable. The carrying out into practice of accrued ideas as being generally done is, I hold, nothing but a waste of energy, money and time. Though free to think and act, we are held together, like the stars in the firmament, with ties inseparable. These ties cannot be seen, but we can feel them. Our first endeavors are purely instinctive, promptings of an imagination vivid and undisciplined. As we grow older, reason asserts itself and we become more and more systematic and designing. I am credited with being one of the hardest workers, and perhaps I am, if thought is the equivalent of labor, for I have devoted to it almost all of my waking hours. I was merely an automaton endowed with power of movement, responding to the stimuli of the sense organs and thinking and acting accordingly. I was merely an automaton endowed with power of movement, responding to the stimuli of the sense organs and thinking and acting accordingly. Soon became convinced I was right and undertook the task with all the fire and boundless confidence of youth. We should effect a radical reform in the character of the food. All that was great in the past was ridiculed, condemned, combated, suppressed, only to emerge all the more powerfully, all the more triumphantly from the struggle. All repeated acts or operations I performed had to be divisible by 3, and if I missed I felt impelled to do it all over again, even if it took hours. Miss. Never trust a Jew. Now the soft-voiced gentlewoman of my reverent worship has all but vanished. My mother was an inventor of first order and would, I believe, have achieved great things had she not been so remote from modern life and its multifold opportunities. I'm glad, Tesla quipped, that I am living in a place in which, though they can roast me in the papers, they cannot burn me at the stake. All of these years of my service towards mankind did not bring me nothing but assaults and humiliations. All those years spent in science were in vain. Please, Mother, pray for me over there if you can. Sing the Moorish lament for the lost soul of your poor ignorant son. I am filled with conviction that the interests of humanity would be best served if the United States remained true to its traditions and kept out of entangling alliances. Antisocial behavior is a trait of intelligence in a world full of conformists. Universal peace is a beautiful dream, but not at once realizable.